Hey friends, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you be mine? Would you be mine? Just wanted to chat with you. Let's get into it. Hey friends, it's me, Lauren Hope, aka Lolo of Good Girl Chronicles, blogger, motivational speaker, body positive model, yes, dog mom, lover of Dwayne Johnson, and all around fabulous. First off, I just want to give a super shout out to an amazing Hampton Roads business by the name of Through the Journey. The owner's name is Jennifer Johnson. I've done an interview with her on this channel before. I will put in the comment section below. Excuse me, burps. I am in the beautiful Old Town Portsmouth. An area of Hampton Roads that has so much history. I'm actually by the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard Museum, which I'm gonna visit one day. Just, I can't today because I have stuff to do, but like, I love learning. I'm a student of life. All right, let's chat. I'm gonna walk and talk with you because I wanna sit down and put the tripod down. How are you? I just wanna say thanks to everyone who is joining Patreon. The numbers are up on Patreon. No, that's where you can get exclusive content from Good Girl Chronicles, mature adult content. And it's a way that I'm able to support myself and my brand as we are growing. So thank you. Also, girlfriends, thank you for just chiming in, being honest about this conversation about about sexual consent and what that means. The conversation has been amazing. I did do an interview with the sex therapist, but I was slightly concerned that YouTube was gonna demonetize me, which is really not a problem because I'm not monetized yet. You have to have 1,000 subscribers to monetize. So I might just go ahead and make it public. But anyways, it's public on my Patreon page. That's a freebie. There's some content that you have to be a patron for, but some of it you can make for free. So I'm gonna put the link to the discussion with the sex therapist about sexual consent. It's really good. I can't talk today. Just trying to find some place to sit down. All right, we're gonna sit on the steps here. So, I'm 3 weeks and some change away from my 37th birthday, which is I don't know. I have mixed feelings about, honestly, because I'm getting close to 40, which is insane because I don't know. I guess I always thought when you get to 40, you're going to feel something or whatever feels different. And I don't know. I just feel the same young Lolo. And it's scary to be going to 40 and not having accomplished the things that you thought you would or that you wanted to and that kind of thing. So also I feel some type of way about it because I just feel when I was homeless, I lost so much time. I just feel I've lost a good 3 to 4 years of my life, 2 years from depression, a year of being homeless, and I'm still rebuilding. And I'm just God, when do I get to live? But I'm grateful every day for an opportunity to get up and try again. I'm grateful for the people that God's bringing in my life to love me and to love on my business. So it's blessings, I would say honestly now, look at this. Isn't that so cool? I would say honestly now, I'm probably the happiest I've been in a while, even though life is challenging. It's hard, super hard. Today, I'm just gonna stay present in today. Today I feel really good and strong and healthy. I feel in control, I'm not triggered by my PTSD. I've had some great opportunities come my way. So I just have to focus on that. So for the last couple of days, I've been filling in on a Christian entertainment show called the Jamal Bates Morning Show. And it's been so interesting. It's taking me back to my news days, honestly. I'm writing scripts, but what's so great about this, I'm gonna sit down. What's so great about this is that I'm gonna fix my camera. Cool. I honestly just get to be myself, which is so great. Being a television reporter is just kind of you're telling other people's stories. And, if you're not an anchor or on an entertainment show, it's really not about you and you don't really get to show your personality. But I honestly just get to be myself, which is so great. It's awesome. So thank you so much, the Laugh Therapist and Jamal Bates, for letting me fill in. It's been amazing. I think I'm gonna probably do one more day this week, and then that'll be it, and I'll be back to the full-time grind of Good Girl Chronicles. So I wanted to talk to you, I really like doing series on my YouTube channel. And so in July, the month of July, my birthday month, go Cancers, I want to talk about what it means to be good. And this is for the ladies. What does it mean to be a good girl? Because I have this conversation all the time. People ask me why my business is called Good Girl Chronicles. And so I wanted to break it down a little bit, particularly if you're new to the channel. If you're new to the channel, girl, click that subscribe. We talk about love, sex, relationships, and everything in between. I'm also a mental health advocate, so I'm really conscious about that too. And it's a fun place to be. If you're a fella, lean in. Maybe you will learn something about ladies on this channel. So I was always the goody two-shoes in school, always. And when you want to know what framed me as being the goody two-shoes, the fact that I didn't want to have sex until I was married, I did not curse, and I didn't curse. I didn't sneak out after curfew or past curfew or anything like that. You know, my parents were really, I was scared of my parents, honestly. I had like respect for them. My parents believed in the spare the rod, spoil the child. So like if you did something, you were getting an ass whipping, you know what I'm saying? So like that coupled with the way I'm wired, like I'm an empath and I'm like really typical Cancer and that I'm very emotional. So when my parents would like say, oh, we're so disappointed in you, or we have better expectations, that would crush me. I honestly would rather take an ass whooping than someone for someone to say that they were disappointed in me. So yeah. And I always was chasing my parents' approval. Always. You know, they definitely really hammered home what it meant to be a good woman and a good Christian. And that meant no sex before marriage, no fooling around like the young girls. It meant getting good grades and things like that. It was really strict, honestly. It was a really strict, confined way of living. It was a really strict, confined way of living. And, but I just wanted their approval so much. And don't get me wrong, I love and respect my parents. Like, we're estranged, and, you know, I say this in love. My parents put a lot of pressure on me to be perfect. And I think that that's where a lot of my anxiety started to come from as a kid. I never felt like I could mess up. I felt like I was responsible for everyone's happiness, responsible for taking care of, you know, my half brother and my half sister, responsible for everything, honestly. And so, yeah, it was really tough. It was a lot of pressure. And that pressure I've just transferred that pressure into adulthood, honestly. I'm really hard on myself. So my parents set this standard of what it meant to be a good girl. And I wanted to be that good girl so bad. But I'm human, I'm not perfect, I make mistakes. And so, yeah, I just definitely was reared under this perfectionist complex. And I've had to deal with that in therapy. You know, my therapist was like, yeah, you know, like you're really hard on yourself. Like, I think you might have a perfectionist complex. And I was like, is that like a thing? And it is. And if you have anxiety and depression, it just makes things so hard. And so I wanted to say that to you so you understand how I'm wired. And to me, being a good girl is like the ultimate goal. But it's almost like it's an unattainable goal. Like, you know, like this idea that good girls are perfect or good women are perfect. I know that in my spiritual walk that we're not perfect. And my, you know, the belief I have in the higher power of my understanding is that Jesus was the only perfect being to walk the earth. So it's unrealistic of me to think that I can be perfect and never make a mistake. And it's hard to do life that way. So my Christian walk has honestly helped me have more grace for myself, more grace for other people. But I still struggle with that because this is how I was raised. To me, being a good girl meant no sex, no cursing, to be married with kids. Like, it's all these really traditional American values. But what's so funny is that, like, I've been trying to be that my entire life, the good girl that my parents wanted. And so when we became estranged, I lost myself because I was like, gosh, you know, I lived for my parents' approval. If they don't want me, then who am I? I almost feel like I had to be estranged from my parents. I said this in another vlog about how estrangement saved me, because it allowed me and forced me to become who I always wanted to be, a really outspoken, quirky, eclectic, free spirit that I knew growing up my parents would not tolerate and weren't for. Like, my parents wanted me to get a 9-to-5, retire, husband, 2.5 kids, but I understand that's how they were raised. So me doing this creative job where I'm an influencer and I'm a writer and I'm a publicist, that doesn't make sense to them. That's how much this good girl persona like just bleeds into so many parts of my life. So Good Girl Chronicles, my business, I'm the good girl who chronicles your life. And I am good, even though I have made mistakes, even though I have not always spoke like out of love, my past, I'm still good. I mean, that's what the word says, right? I've accepted Christ as my personal savior. I've been reborn. I am a new creature, but I'm still human and I'm gonna make mistakes. It's just the way it is. And so I've learned to give myself a break and other people a break. So in the month of July, I want to do a series about what does it mean to be a good girl, or what does it mean to be good? And I want to hear your comments below. Have you ever been called a goody two shoes? Have you not? What do you feel about that? And I just think there's so much we can build on around that. Don't worry. We are still going to talk about sex and love, but I think that like this is a good thing to rest on. People have these expectations for what good girls and good women are, and that pigeonholes you. I think a lot of us, most women, were given that goody two shoes narrative, and if you don't find some way to reconcile it or to understand that you are good even with the mistakes and even with the setbacks, it really can affect you in some profound ways. So I have some thoughts about what it means to be good, the things that I've heard and stuff like that. Like even in my dating life, right? They're like, oh, I thought you were a good girl. Well, okay, if I am not a good girl for doing this act with you, what does that make you? The double standard is what my problem is. So yeah, I want to hear from you. Chime in. Also, just to let you know, I'm on Good Girl Chronicles on all platforms. On Instagram, I'm Good Girl Chronicles LLC, and then I'm also on Patreon on Good Girl Chronicles, where you can get my exclusive content, exclusive modeling pictures, and I can't wait to show you some blogs leading up to my birthday. If you'd like to donate to my birthday fund, there's a GoFundMe. I'm gonna put a GoFundMe link on there, and yeah, I just love you guys so much. As we say here at Good Girl Chronicles, I love you. I love God more. See you next time.